All right, good morning. A little bit of a smaller group, which I'm okay with, but I hope that you guys will participate with either questions or some ideas of your own. We're going to go over just some basic reminders and ideas for some meal prep to get you through the last 2 weeks of the month just because a lot of us are busy with tournaments and with Christmas parties and packing and traveling and all these things, but that doesn't mean we want to completely throw out all of the prepping and planning and just kind of wing it nutritionally speaking. Before we dive into that, does anyone have a win that they can share for the prior week?
I have one.
Let's hear it, girl.
Um, I prepped all of my own lunches this week and it
Mhm.
was awesome. It was made me realize that I really can prep. I think I've just been overthinking it. And this one's not a health or fitness goal, but I bought a motorcycle a couple weeks ago, and yesterday I actually went out on it and stalled the hell out of it, but I got like 15 or 20 feet. So I was really happy about that.
Josh is super excited on the call right now because yeah, and Danielle, they're big motorcycle riders.
Great.
That's that's super cool. Who else has a win?
I'll share mine. So when I'm in North Carolina, I go to a fitness connection gym down there, and it's ginormous. It's very intimidating. It's probably two, 3 times of any Planet Fitness I've ever been to. Huge military base. So there's a lot of big people, and I never have made it past the treadmills. Everything's on the right side, the line of treadmills, and there's like a woman's weights and cardio room, so I stick to that. But you had these hack squats that I've always just did something different because I don't have one here in Pennsylvania, but I was for sure they had to have one there. And I ventured out past the treadmills and I looked at this thing and I was like, oh God. And I did it. And some guy gave me a thumbs up for it. But so I was intimidated, but I went across the line and went to the big boy section, big girl section, and felt like a big girl.
I love that. And you said two things that brought up some thoughts for me. So one, a stranger gave you some thumbs up, right? Like which so many of us go into these gym settings afraid of, what other people might be thinking, or what if I don't know how to set this machine up right, or what if I'm doing it backwards, or like whatever. Meanwhile, the other people in the gym are likely feeling the same thing and really just want to encourage you. And so I think that's super cool. Keep this in mind if you guys ever see someone maybe struggling or seemingly insecure, throw them a smile, give them a thumbs up because you know how it feels to receive that. So now you can be that person for someone else. And I've shared this story before. I was actually back home in Quincy a few Christmases ago, and they got like this new hip thrust machine. And I was like, oh, cool, new machine. I had no idea how to use it. Like, I still walk into gyms and don't know how to use machines. Sometimes there's a few at a gym that I have a membership at here in Vegas where I'm like trying to read the thing and like look at the picture and I'm confused. I don't know how to set it. And I will occasionally just kind of wing it and try and figure it out. Other times I'll ask if there's a trainer available. Can you show me how to use this? I want to use it. But everyone in the gym is happy to help. And I know it can be intimidating, but I think that's cool that you checked that little win because that'll encourage you to do that again. And
Yeah.
hopefully you enjoyed the hack squat machine. Who else has something they want to share?
I'll share. Mine's not like a fitness win. I would say it's more of like a mom win. So like family
Okay.
to me are like super important. But since my child turned 18 and graduated from high school, he doesn't have any time for his family. And so I got three sit down meals with him this week. And it just made a whole week. So I'm excited about that.
I love that. Mary's nodding because she's in kind of a similar stage of life with her daughter. I love that. My win is that I showed up and competed at my first purple belt tournament at Nogi Worlds on Thursday, and that felt really good. it's one of the most like I've always competed in sports, but when you compete in like wrestling or MMA or jiu-jitsu, like you're literally going out to fight someone and the other person is trying to hurt you and put you to sleep or break your limbs. And so it's scarier than when I used to compete as a dancer, right? Like, are my lashes on right? Which now I'm still like, are my lashes on right? Like, don't smash my face. But before it was like, ballet shoes and high buns, and so the nerves were there, but they were different. And this is much more visceral and scary in that way. But that was really cool. I won a match. The match I lost, I think I could have won in retrospect. But yeah, it was a good, cool win for me. I'm also glad that it's over with because now I can relax. So today we're going to talk a little bit about meal prep, simple ideas, simple concepts, just to get you through the rest of the year, and also just start the year off on a really easy note. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it yet. I'll throw it in collab as well, but I posted a reel this morning. I purchased three rotisserie chickens. I've never done it in bulk like this. I've always just done like one at a time, but we are actually, here's another idea. We are going to a Christmas party today where they're ordering pizza. And my mother-in-law was like, "Hey, what do you want to do for like an alternative option for people that don't want pizza?" And I was like, "I can get some of the really big pre-made salads from Sam's Club. They have like big Caesar salad kits that's just like the romaine and it's got like the bag of croutons in the bag and it's all just packaged already." So I bought two of those and I bought three rotisserie chickens. And so not only am I going to take the two salads and the chicken, but I have a bunch of the chicken left over for our meal prep for this week. And so that was a really easy thing for me to bring to a party that's like, if you don't want to eat the pizza at the party, you can have a big chicken Caesar salad. And I actually, while chicken Caesar salads can be very, very calorie dense based on the dressing. If you have enough chicken, it can kind of be the fat source. And so they can be, if you're in control now, if you add like hard-boiled eggs and bacon and the dressing, the fats can outweigh the protein.
Mm.
But if the only fat in your chicken Caesar salad is the dressing, it can actually be fairly balanced from a macro standpoint. So just be mindful of that if you are like doing packaged salads or things like that. So the all that to say, rotisserie chicken is a great option if you pull them when they're hot. I wear rubber gloves, and then I just pulled them all. It ended up being 5 pounds of chicken from the three. And so math wise, um, math wise, you can kind of figure, okay, 1 pound of protein is probably going to make 3 to 4 meals for one person. I would say for a woman, 1 pound of protein would prep out about 3 to 4 meals. So you can use that math, and I can drop this later if this is helpful when trying to figure out how much to buy for the last 2 weeks of the year. As a family of four, we usually prep 6 to 7 pounds of protein per week. And that works out for the kids and for Steve and I. We'll do like 3 pounds of ground beef and 3 pounds of chicken. And then, you have your other proteins sprinkled throughout there. But you can keep that in mind for yourself. If it's just you could get, one rotisserie chicken, a pound of ground beef, and a pack of pre-cooked sirloin strips or a pack of pre-cooked chicken strips. I like to do like one red meat and one white meat. From a macro standpoint, even if you're taking a tracking break through the holidays, which is what I like to be intentional about whether or not we're tracking. So we're either tracking or we're taking a tracking break, but it's intentional. So if you go for one white meat, so let's say you're doing the rotisserie chicken, let's pair that with a red meat. So we are getting some fats from protein. So you could choose like a salmon, you could choose again a ground beef or a steak option. But again, at the end of the day, your macros are going to fall really balanced. I've had women that have previously followed very strict diets, and in their mind, nutrition equals chicken, tilapia, 99% lean ground turkey. And it's all just fat-free proteins, and then they have no fats at the end of the day that they've consumed. So we actually do like to have a nice balance of fats. So let's think about when we are prepping and when we're grocery shopping, are our lunches all chicken based? Let's look for some fattier meat for our dinner and go for either a beef, a salmon. I don't know how pre-cooked salmon would be though. So if you want to stick with pre-cooked, maybe not fish, but I could be wrong on that. However, tuna packets, fish, like our boys, the kids were looking at the tuna packets the other day at the grocery store and they're like, we want to try this. And I was like, okay. And they've been rocking and rolling with little tuna packets and crackers for snacks. And I hadn't even thought, like, I completely forgot about tuna packets, but they have them with like different seasonings and like all different fish, yellowfin, bluefin, all this stuff now, wild caught. So don't sleep on the tuna packets if you like it. And even for kids snacks, our kids were digging it. They think it was cool that they could fit a whole fish in a packet, you know, how their little brains work. When we move on to carbs, some things that you can think about right now. If you have a Trader Joe's, their frozen rice is seriously the best. It's so good. It cooks in 3 minutes. But microwave rice packets, um, the steamable bags of potatoes, I love to make those and then I'll smash them. If I'm using a like a lean meat, I will smash them with some butter on it. That's where you're going to get your fat from in a meal like that. You can put some butter on your veggies or on your potatoes. I was talking with Cassie earlier this week. She sent me a meal prep picture and I was asking about the pasta that she used, and we were going back and forth talking about the Goodles uh, protein pasta as well as Banza protein pasta. So any pasta that's made with like a chickpea or a lentil based pasta is going to have extra protein and fiber in it. So if you're like, oh man, like I'm craving mac and cheese or I'm craving some pasta, see if you can stomach the swap. And I say that because some pasta snobs are like, the texture. But can we meet in the middle for some meal preps and go for the Banza or the Goodles? Because again, some of these options, they're going to be gluten free, so they're going to be more gentle on your stomach. You're going to see less bloating. If you have any sort of inflammation with gluten, you're not going to get that with a lentil or the chickpea based pasta. You're going to get fiber. You're going to get extra protein, which is really, really helpful, especially this time of year when you're kind of craving those comfort foods. You can use the Banza pasta and chicken noodle soup. You literally use the rotisserie chicken, the Banza pasta noodles, and make like a super, and you could use I think Mary was talking about bone broth. It was like about a month ago or something. You could use chicken bone broth, and now you're getting even more protein. I need to turn this into a recipe, but even more protein from just the broth in a chicken noodle soup and the protein banza pasta and the chicken that you didn't have to boil yourself and shred yourself. Well, you have to shred it, but it's already cooked. So super easy ideas here. Chili is another one that's so great right now that you can do, you know, double the meat, the beans. I put beans in my chili, I know it's like a controversial thing, but you're gonna get more fiber that way. Um, and you can make it in bulk. So there is a chili recipe that I have listed. So that's a great one. Now on to the vegetables. Just use steamed vegetables this time of year. Make your life easy. Sam's Club, if you guys haven't checked, and Costco, they both sell, I think it's 5 steam bags inside the big bag that's like $8. And that will be vegetables for a month. I think it was Josh that's stubborn with vegetables. Danielle's like, yes. I remember I sent you the Snoop Dogg song, Eat Your Veggies, one time. I love having Alexa play that when the kids are being stubborn with their vegetables. We are the like most trolling parents there ever was. But steam bag veggies, I already talked about the pre-made salad kits. You can choose your own dressings and stuff, but just the fact that it's already like the ones that have like kale and cabbage and all these different broccoli, all these different things already chopped up, it's gonna make your life so much easier. Um, a lot of stores will have, if you want to go like fajitas and things like that, a lot of stores, Trader Joe's included, have pre-cut and pre-frozen or pre-cut and frozen bell pepper and onion mix. So that's going to save you a whole lot of time. You can throw that into recipes, egg bakes, egg casseroles, all of these things to just make your life easy. Look ahead at what you have coming up in the next week and say, what would make my life super easy this week? Do I need my breakfast prepped? Do I need my lunches prepped? Do I need it all prepped? If the answer is yes, okay, now how can we make that prep process easy? Do I have time to cook? I'm looking at our day today. We're going to be gone from noon until probably 8 p.m. Like that would be our meal prep window. We're not going to be home at all today. So we have the chicken, we have the frozen veggies, Sam's Club order is already made, and everything's already kind of pre-cooked. It's going to be super simple week. Um, does anyone have anything that they have done? I know Cassie was sharing. Cassie, you want to talk about the breakfast sandwich prep that you were doing, like what your process is and how you freeze it and how many you make at a time? Because I've never done that.
Yeah, so if at Costco you can get a 4 pack of English muffin, 24 pack of English muffins, and then I just buy the 24 2 dozen eggs, and then I get the turkey sausage patties that are already kind of pre-cooked, yeah, from Walmart. And I have like the egg rings that you can make so the eggs like come out in a circle so it fits on the English muffin. And I do an English muffin, a turkey sausage, 1 egg, and then a half a piece of cheese. And I wrap them in parchment. I put them in a Ziploc bag and I put them in my freezer in my garage. And then I bring out like 2 or 3 at a time. And I just throw those in my lunch in the morning. I eat breakfast at work. It's just easier for me to do. I pop it in my microwave in my classroom for a minute, minute and a half. I've got hot sauce in my classroom, and that's my breakfast. And that keeps me um, full until lunchtime, and that's how I get
Oh,
my breakfast.
I love that. And breakfast is one of those meals that so many people are like, I just skip it. I don't have time. I just grab this on the way out. Like you can totally grab something on the way out, but grab something that's gonna give you a little bit more nutrients than just like a bar or something like that. Like save the bar for in between two meals, not as the thing that starts your day. So I love that one. Overnight oats are another thing that's really quick to prep. They make the overnight oats now in like a little pouch that you put the milk or the water in and you let it sit overnight and then you can just grab and go. The macros on them are actually really fantastic. Um, or you can do the mason jar method where you literally like line up mason jars, your oats, your protein, whatever toppings you want, add your milk, stir them up, put the lids on, and put them in the fridge. And then you can either warm it up on the way out or you can eat it cold on the way out. So again, pre-prep and freeze breakfast sandwiches, overnight oats. You can do the egg bake, which is a recipe that we used to do. Foodie Fit has them right now. And I was looking at the macros on them and I'm like, they could have done so much better on the macros on these. But it reminded me of how easy it is to take muffin pans, get the silicone ones, get a bowl, crack a bunch of eggs. Here's the I think the secret in getting the protein up while keeping the fats lower. Add the liquid egg whites in. So if I am doing let's say I'm doing 12 muffin egg bakes. Instead of using like 24 whole eggs for the egg bakes, I'll do like 12 eggs and then a whole thing of egg whites. And so that way it's going to balance it out because I want the flavor from either cheese or from bacon to get the saltiness, the extra protein. But if I do cheese, bacon, and only whole eggs, now the fats are going to outweigh the protein. So easy swapping out, a lower fat cheese or a turkey. I do not like turkey bacon. I'm just gonna say it. I'll go turkey sausage. I'll go chicken sausage. I can't do turkey bacon. It doesn't taste right to me. Um, So just choose, right? It's kind of like when we go out to Mexican food. If you have the queso, the guac, and the sour cream, you're really gonna blow your fats out. But if we could just like choose one or cut all three back, think about that. So egg bakes, pre-made breakfast sandwiches, and overnight oats are gonna be three really great, fast, easy breakfast preps. And then think about the pre-cooked salad kits, pre-cooked chicken with salad kits or frozen veggies, steamed carbs for lunches. And then the other thing Cassie and I were talking about earlier this week was taking inspo from meal prep companies. So even if any of you guys live in areas where you don't have a foodie fit or you don't have a clean eats or you don't have something like that, pull up their website and notice the commonalities here. And it's going to be what I preach all the time, the rule of three. You're going to visually see a protein, you're going to visually see a carb, and you're going to visually see hopefully colorful vegetables. It's so easy to recreate some of these meals just using a lot of these really simple ingredients. It's, of course, wonderful to have the convenience of them to do it for you, but that doesn't mean that you can't make it happen, fairly easily on your own. Some ideas, just food for thought, some little, I guess, journal prompts or mindset things that I like to think about. What meals feel easiest for me when my motivation is low? Like, what's the lowest barrier of entry to staying successful, nutritionally speaking, when you don't have the motivation, or in many of our cases right now, time? What meals feel easiest? And just go back to that. It doesn't mean that you can't get back into some more extensive or more exciting meal prep down the road. And then the other one, I want you to think about what convenience foods actually support my goals. So for anyone that's traveling, if you are traveling in the airport or road trip and you know that there's, gonna be a gas station stop or the newsstand stop, like what convenience items are in there that can actually support your goals? Beef jerky, Greek yogurts, pre-made protein shakes, sometimes protein bars. I have this little little pre-packaged nut mix, which is a great way to get some healthy fats in without overdoing trail mix. Little things like that that will support your goals that are convenience. And then on that same note, what like fast food restaurants have some options that can support your goals. We have a whole fast food guide that I was looking at the other day, and Tia, my old admin, and I went through all of the apps, like the Taco Bell app, the McDonald's app. We went down this rabbit hole of trying to create macro balanced food orders at all of these places because I was like, okay, what if the scenario is there's no grocery store open, there's no convenience store, and the only option is Taco Bell? How do we order a macro balanced meal here? And we figured it out. Like we had to make some substitutions and get a little bit creative. It was kind of a fun challenge. And so that's what I like to do in some of these instances is use that how can I? How can I still be successful in these not optimal conditions? How can I still order like a fit person? How can I still stay on track even amidst some of the travel chaos and things like that? Okay. Was that helpful for you guys? Couple reminders and things to think about. Thank you guys for those of you that contributed and shared some things today. Thank you everyone for jumping on and being here. We have, let's see, I'm looking at the 2026 calendar. I forgot I swapped it out. Let's see, what's next weekend? Is it a holiday yet? Nope. So we will be meeting next weekend. Yeah, we're good. I will be in Quincy, but we will be on the call next weekend. Last call before Christmas. So hopefully you guys will be here. We'll be talking a little bit about the upcoming 8-week challenge. Enrollment is going to roll out on Friday, I believe, if everything goes as planned for me this week. So we'll talk a little bit about what we can expect for that. As always, there's, a current members option if you just like to participate in the extra things. Everyone's always buzzing in the community during the challenges. So I will keep you guys posted on that. Otherwise, have a great week. We're almost through December, guys. So have a great week, and I will talk to y'all soon.